Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the Popcorn Pillow Talk podcast presented by Grapevine Media. I'm your host, Zack Nunez, joined here by Connor Gilbert and Matthew Donahue, Matt Donahue, Matty D, TMD, all that. Right? Welcome to the show. We're going to be doing some movies, some TV talk, all that and more. But first, just to get us started here, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave a comment, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. Watch as long as you want, algorithm, all that, right? If you're listening to this on any fine audio platforms, make sure to subscribe to the podcast feed as well as leave a 5-star review and let us know what you like about the show, and we'll keep doing those nice things. So since we got our first episode here, we kind of just want to do a bit of an overview on what we're going to be looking at for the podcast in general, right? So we're going to introduce ourselves, talk about our tastes, all that kind of stuff, and then we're going to move on and talk about our plans moving forward for the show. Oh, I forgot. Also, follow us on socials at Popcorn PT Pod, specifically on Twitter, what we have right now, but it's coming soon on Instagram and TikTok as well.
We're in a legal battle over the names of getting some of these social names here. So
yeah,
that's why the other ones are a little delayed right now, but they're coming. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Popcorn PT Pod. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, we might have to take the guy who already owns PPT Pod on Twitter, and we might have to take him to court, honestly.
He hasn't been active since 2015. But yeah, like Zach said, we'll just go around here and introduce yourselves. I'm Matt Donahue. If you guys know Grapevine, you know me. You're probably sick of me by this point. But yeah, me and Connor have been going to see, Connor and Kale, who's a producer of the show, who's going to be in and out now and then. But we've been going to see movies, specifically superhero movies and Marvel movies, since like 2016, maybe. Like
all of us together. Yeah, it's probably 2017.
Like religiously, like whenever there's like a new movie coming out, like we're there on the Thursday nights at 7:00. That's usually at Stonington Regal Cinema. So if you're local and you want to join us, feel free. We're usually there. But yeah, we're big. At least myself, I'm a big superhero guy. I love all the Marvel stuff. Love the new Batman movie, which if you're listening to this, that episode is also out. So make sure to go listen after. But I'm also just a good film guy. I like to good stories. I like good acting. That's my biggest critique is I'm a big good actor guy. And believable character guy. So that makes films for me, that really that's my big make or break point with films. But yeah, I'm just a good story guy. I'm not limited to just superhero, even though I'd say that's probably my specialty. But we're not just limited to that. If there's a really good movie coming out, that's what I live for. I'm a big movie guy, big in theater movie guy too. There's no better feeling too. Than seeing an Endgame type movie with a live crowd for the first time. There's just nothing better than it. So that's my little introduction to why we started a film podcast. Just because we know podcasting and figured why not talk about something else we really love to do. So that's all right. That's my spiel. Kind of.
I'll tell you what. The experience of seeing Endgame, at least when I saw it opening night, was in Oswego, New York, which is in the middle of nowhere, for those who know the area. Sold out theater, sweaty as shit because the building is old. It was upstairs, so they had 2 floors to this movie theater, and upstairs was the larger room that they hadn't converted to recliners and whatnot. So it was just 100-something people, all college kids. Again, hot as shit. We got there late. I had to sit crunched up against the wall. But it was one of the best theater experiences of my life. I've been itching to get back to the movies recently. I haven't gone and seen anything since we saw the Batman. So it's been almost a couple weeks at this point.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's not a lot. Like that's a pretty short amount of time for a regular person. But for Zach, Zach goes to the movies every week.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
try.
like and I respect that, dude. I honestly respect that because there is no better feeling than an in theater movie when you're watching it on the big screen. That's how most films are supposed to be made. That's why like watching Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max or watching like Wonder Woman 84 comes to mind, even though that movie was bullshit. And like Dune, watching Dune. I mean, theaters were open when that came out, but most people watched it like at home. That's a whole nother topic of like the simultaneous home release and theater release. Don't like it. But I also want to say something. I want to add something to the in theater movie experiences. And it sounds like Zach, you're on the same page as Matt and I. So I'm a big believer in your movie theater. As the best movie theaters in the world, kind of like the best bars in the world, are absolute dumps. So what I like to say is this. I don't want to watch at least an opening night of a movie. Matt said Stonington Regal Cinemas is basically like one of my homes. I've been going there. The first movie I remember seeing there was Lord of the Rings, Return of the King with my dad in 2003. So I was 8, I think.
He was a wee toddler back in those days.
Yeah, I was 8. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not good at math. But so that holds a special place in my heart, right? But I like to say about movie theaters, if there's not a slight chance that I get tetanus every single time I go, I don't want to watch a movie there.
It's not the right
And it's just like a bar too. Like there was a bar in the area called John's in downtown Mystic, which is where Matt and I are from. And it was such a shithole, dude. I kid you not. So I was going there since I was 18 years old and never got carded. And I shit you not. Yeah. They're shut down. It's so illegal, but they're shut down now. So whatever. And I shit you not, bro. This bar for probably like a month did not have a door on the bathroom, and I'm not kidding. So like tetanus while walking through a movie theater is sitting down, not having a door on a bathroom in a bar. That's the kind of vibe that I like. So I was so happy when the theaters like a thing. I remember seeing Black Widow in theaters, and that movie was like, I'll watch it. It's Marvel. I have to. At this point, I have to watch them. And I wasn't that excited, but I was more excited just to go and sit down in a movie theater.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Now that I go to a nice Cinemark theater near my house here in Rochester, and then the one in North Haven, out by Quinnipiac, I feel a little spoiled. I feel like I'm spoiled by having the nice recliners every time I go. Nice big theaters, but it still feels like everybody is far the fuck away from me. Like I personally like the feeling of being by myself while watching movies. I go to the movies by myself all the time.
No better feeling in the world.
It's excellent. It's excellent. It's one of the few times that I can just, even if it's something like super heady that I have to like think about, like it's the perfect opportunity to like just turn everything else off and just focus on one thing for 2+ hours. It's like right before the new year, I went and saw The Tragedy of Macbeth at indie theater we have here in Rochester, the Little. Shout out to the Little Theater. And that was a fantastic experience. Just go to this little theater that has like 40 seats in it and watch Denzel Washington be Macbeth for 2 hours and have a great time, right?
Matt, that reminds me that we need to go check out the movie theater in downtown Westerly that just opened up.
I saw that.
Ago. It's popping, bro. I mean, I see it every day, but like it's got that old timey United, and it's always lit up. It's so awesome. I want to see a movie there so bad. But yeah, if I'm going to introduce myself real quick, my name's Connor. Also, if you know Grapevine Media, then you know me. I have 2 podcasts. Who Gives A Dram is currently presented by the Grapevine Media. I also have another podcast called Bourbon With Friends, one of the top whiskey podcasts in the country. So I'm a big whiskey head. Love whiskey. I love me some whiskey. And I've been podcasting for a while. Really since beginning 2019, I've been podcasting in some fronts. I think Man, I've been on TMD, haven't I? Haven't Kel and I been on TMD podcast?
Yeah, we did the Endgame.
That's what I
Endgame
thought.
reaction.
Yeah.
We
That's
all
what I
like
thought.
literally went back to like your house and like recorded. I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. But yeah, so I've been podcasting for a while. I love podcasting. I love making content. But the only thing that was really lacking and what I really love, I podcast about whiskey, and in my whiskey podcast, I try to mix in a little bit of MMA talk, which is another one of my passions. But there was really no appropriate spot for film. So really, Matt, Zach, and I got together and was like, we're three of us are movie heads. We appreciate film, and not just like the big blockbusters, but we will go and watch movies that might not be as popular, that might not have the traction that certain others do, not just the Spider-Mans or the Batmans or the Supermans or the Marvels, but real movies. And we just I mean, we didn't have a place to talk about them. So I think it was appropriate, the three of us, presented by Grapevine Media, obviously, to have this movie podcast where it's somewhere where we can the three of us can let go and talk about this passion this topic, this area that we're all passionate about, and kind of talk about whether it's a movie review, whether it's breaking news, whether it's reactions, whether it's top 10s, top 20s, top 50s, bottom 10s, bottom 20, you know what I mean? Like there's no limits to what we can do with this podcast. So I feel like we're probably going to make it a very listener forward, where it's kind of like, what do you guys want to hear us talk about? What movie should we review? And really take it from there. So I'm very excited to start this endeavor with you guys, especially. And I think it's going to be a blast, and I think people are going to love it, because the three of us are very dumb, but when we get together to talk, it gets kind of entertaining.
Facts. Very dumb.
Certified
the other thing too is probably like we'll mix in TV shows every now and then too. Like I know.
Oh, definitely.
I'm like and I'll probably have to say this every single time, but I'm a big like TV show guy, binger, almost like it's a really long movie, because I like movies so much I'm really bad with cliffhangers. Like, you'll come to find out, I'm like the worst person there is with cliffhangers. But yeah, I think TV shows, like I know me and Connor, at least, and Zach, we're gonna have to make Zach watch it here. Peaky Blinders, like, is one that comes to mind, like right off
Yep.
rip. Like stuff like that. It's not just like, and then obviously the Disney Plus
Right here, bro.
TV shows, exactly. Everything else,
Alfie Solomon's. I'm wearing the Alfie Solomon shirt right now after watching this on YouTube. Says Solomon's Bakery. Shout out Peaky Blinders. So, I bought. Did I tell you that I bought a VPN, which I don't even know what it is, but it basically allows me to pretend that I'm British and log into British internet and watch Peaky Blinders.
That you might be implicating.
No, it's legit. No, it's legit.
No, VPNs are legit.
Oh, okay.
It's Express VPN, I think is what I use, or something like that. I pay $10 a month, so I'll pay $20 total, because Peaky Blinders is 6 episodes, and I couldn't wait, bro. See, Peaky Blinders comes out June 10th. I could not wait till June 10th, because since I know it's out now, I had to do a lot of research, and I think it put a lot of viruses on my phone, but
that's possible. It seems
also,
like something it seems like something that should be illegal, but somehow it's legit. But at the same time, it will just it'll load your computer up with more viruses than a porn site. It's kind of crazy, honestly.
Well, it depends what porn sites you watch. But anyways, I guess. And also, speaking about TV shows, go out on YouTube. We released our first, and hopefully this is just one of
our only
very
video,
many.
Or actually
our only. Yeah, well, it'll be our only video at this time of recording, is our Obi-Wan teaser trailer reaction, where we had to put Zach in post with his reaction when he brought up some good points that Matt and I didn't even catch, like the Vader breathing. Both Matt and I did not catch that at the end, so thank you, Zach. But Matt and I got together at the studio and recorded our reaction. And I think it went pretty well. So hopefully that will happen again. But
here's the thing too that I want to say about that is, like, we're not experts, you know what I mean? Like on, like, I'd say on certain subjects, we're very well versed, but I'm not gonna sit here and call myself an expert whatsoever. Yeah. However, that's no one is an expert really. And that's the beauty of it. And I think that's the beauty for you guys listening is it's like you're just here having a conversation with us. You know what I mean? Like that's how we talk. We don't talk as like crazy, you know what I mean? Like we could get very in depth. I can go crazy with conspiracies about like potential shows and what's going to happen and stuff like that. I could do that. But
especially after watching the new Rockstar breakdown, bro, I feel like I'm an expert. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
But this is going to be more of like a casual like conversation about like good movies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I feel like that's where we're going to be. It's going to be very like
yep.
Like we're just having a talk, you know what I mean? Like it's just three guys having a talk, and then
three guys chatting.
Who are listening are just, it's like you're here with us. So that's what the vibe we're going for her here. You know, we're not coming in every single episode and going in depth, like a 25-page, not like whatever. We're right in here, you know what I mean? We're just talking the highs and lows.
I think the resident expert here is probably Zach, and Zach's the one who's not even like, he's not, me and Matt are in the same town. Zach's not. So Zach, why don't you tell, me and Matt have been going on forever. Why don't you tell the people where you're from, what you do, and what got you into movies?
Yeah. So if you're, you know, keeping the tradition, if you know Grapevine Media, you don't know me. I'm a new face to the brand here. Just started writing for the site a few weeks or probably about a couple months ago at this point. I've done a couple movie reviews over on the site, namely, what the hell was it? I wrote a review for Jackass Forever when that came out, and then I have one for Studio 666, which is the Foo Fighters horror movie that came out a couple weeks ago, and then one for the Batman. I've been kind of interested in like the internet movie community forever. I've been watching like movie reviewers on YouTube for, you know, probably a decade at this point. I have a Letterboxd account myself, at Zack Nunez on Letterboxd, ZackNunez on Letterboxd. If you want to see my shit opinions about things that I watch, it's just upload things as I see them, right? Like I saw the new West Side Story the other day, and I thought it was okay. You know, I'm sure, you know, some people see that and they're not happy about it, but the hell you want me to do? I'm not much of a musicals guy. Anyways, I have my own podcast, the Hot Stove Podcast on Grapevine. It's not presented by Grapevine, but the episodes are there if you wanted to go watch them. Where we do sports and movie talk, really. You know, we've done, you know, top 10 genre lists. I remember our longest episode actually is a buddy of mine. We did our top 25 superhero movies, or top 25 comic book movies of all time. In particular, because there's plenty of,
that might be a future episode here too.
Yeah. There's plenty of films that have to do with that are based on comic books that aren't superhero movies. It's the whole thing. But so I tend to consider myself a little bit of a pretentious asshole when it comes to movies.
Which we need on this podcast, which is necessity, you know?
You know, I'm certainly not above anything, right? Like I'm not above a good fart joke, right? Everyone loves a good fart joke. But also I really hold to the idea of film as art. And it's my personal favorite art form. So, you know, the things that kind of speak to me are movies that, you know, take me to a place where, you know, I can experience it as a piece of art, whether it be emotionally, you know, physically, sound wise, even with a movie like The Batman, which again, watch or listen to the Batman review. It's coming out right now. Maybe later today, maybe right now, who knows, right? It's out. Check out the thing. It's out for sure. So I just wanted it, to be honest with you, I just wanted an outlet to talk more about movies, because I don't talk about movies very often. I write about them. It's my way of kind of like getting my thoughts out into the world, because otherwise they'll just kind of swirl around up in here. So I'm super excited. I'm really excited to get this show going.
That's how you end up like the Riddler in the Batman.
Right.
And you just let your thoughts stay up here, and then next thing you know, you're killing someone with a carpet cutter.
Right. You don't want me to become a domestic terrorist, so I will. That was a thinly veiled threat and also a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke. FBI agent that's watching. So yeah, we now that we've kind of, you know, gotten into who we are, we kind of want to talk about the direction that we want to go with the show here moving forward. Generally speaking, I think, you know, we want to do a little bit of everything when it comes to movies. Obviously, new releases, if we got, you know, big new movies that are coming out, or even movies that I think the three of us just decide to go see, It doesn't necessarily have to be the biggest movie on the planet for us to want to do a new release review. Then we will go do that. Like we've already mentioned a couple of times, we got a review of the Batman coming out. We have it out currently. It's a hulking 90-minute spoiler discussion. For those who don't want spoilers, there are non-spoiler talks in the opening of the episode. But we want to do that kind of stuff. We want to do, top 10 episodes, just things to get the creative juices flowing, get our opinions out there, right? Whether it be, a review of a TV show or like you said, a top 10 list or a retro review. That's something we've talked about a bunch in the early stages of planning the show, is like just talking about whatever. I point to my movie shelf over there, just talking about whatever we feel like watching as the three of us, right? Like if we just decide like, or even if like, it's this movie's anniversary this week, let's talk about that, right? I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's got an anniversary coming out or coming soon, but like, it's whatever's 30th anniversary this coming week. Let's talk about it, right?
Or like if it's this time of the year, like, it's St. Patrick's Day, let's watch Boondock Saints or something like that, like something festive. And I think going along with your point, Zach, that I think, once people start listening, once we have some dedicated listeners, which hopefully we will, kind of leaving it up to you guys as well as to like, hey, do you guys want to hear us talk about a movie? Is there a topic that you want to hear us? Our DMs will always be open on social media. We do have a Gmail. It's gvm.moviepod@gmail.com for all those people who are still emailing for whatever reason. But you can send questions in there too. Whatever you guys want to hear us talk about, we will talk about, because I think it's important to know that this, like, all three of us are very busy in our real lives. Like you guys are going to school. I'm working full time. Matt has TMD. You have Hot Stove. I have 2 other podcasts. This is kind of something that we're doing for fun, and we're going to take it very serious and create as much content as possible and make it consistent. But at the end of the day, there are other things that need to be taken care of first. So leaving it up to, like, if you want to hear us talk about Shrek 2, then we'll talk about Shrek 2.
I could do that.
Great movie.
Dude, yeah, there's stuff like that I could easily, do.
Yeah.
I'm sure Zach Poyer will leave us a recommendation. I'm thinking he's gonna definitely listen to us.
Perfect. ZP, what's up, dude? Also, you won the TMD giveaway, so
hey, shout out.
Yeah,
Zach Poyer is a dedicated GVM podcast listener.
So what'd you give away? Did you give away a Manscaped?
We gave away merch. Speaking of this, he actually won the Manscaped giveaway too. Shout out ZP. ZP's winning all that.
Shout out.
I mean, that's just what happens when you listen, and you know what to do. So,
and who knows, maybe we'll do some giveaways on here as well. There is nothing that cannot happen on this podcast. It can go a trillion different ways because the movie scene is super hot right now. But I don't see too many long form weekly podcasts out there that are strictly dedicated to movies. Mm-hmm. Do you guys have favorite movie podcasts? Because I have one that I listen to on a weekly basis. It's called the Weekly Planet Podcast, and it's by Mr. Sunday Movies, who's on YouTube, and his videos go viral all the time. But they're 2 Australian dudes who crack me up, and that's kind of like the vibe that I like to go for on my podcast. But do you guys have any shows that you listen to that you kind of like you wanna maybe take the vibe from, or that you listen to?
Yeah, go for it, Zach. I mean, I have one, but it's like, and I don't listen to it religiously, but it's like, it's Lights, Camera, Barstool, and I just, it's not Barstool's biggest one, but it's something that, like, the guys are actually very knowledgeable about. But again, like, I don't listen to it religiously. But yeah, that's the one. Zach.
A bunch of people have told me to listen to Lights, Camera, Barstool, and I have a couple episodes downloaded on my Apple Podcasts. I just haven't gotten to it. I will, though. I swear I will listen to that show. But the one I really listen to a lot, honestly, is called Frames Per Second. It's a spin-off podcast from the people over at Dead End Hip Hop. So they're a music review collective. They review rap and hip hop music, and they have a separate show called Frames Per Second where they talk about movies and TV. I appreciate it because it's really conversational. Like it's one of those things where they flip the mics on and they go, right. And that's, I think what each of us kind of plan on getting out of this show as we move forward, honestly.
I think
No
another,
editing.
actually another one that I listen to, and again, not like religiously, but like is rewatchables. You know, Bill Simmons one where I like that. I like that concept a lot. And if that's something that like the listeners out there, you guys like want us to do, where it's like you want us to give a movie that like you guys can watch and then we can watch and then come on the next episode and talk about it, something like that. You know what I mean? Like I think that concept is really cool. But it's, you know, I think that the beauty of us starting our own podcast is like what Connor said. It's like this can go a million different ways. And again, we're just doing it because we're all passionate about movies. We all love talking about movies, and we see them all the time. And I've seen a big movie with Zach, and I see every other movie with Connor. So it's like, and I know we have 20, 30, 50, hour and a half, like whatever it is, long discussions after the movie's done.
Yep.
And I like to think that they go pretty good. So instead of, you know, just standing in the parking lot and doing that with nothing being recorded, we just decided to take our talents to
Content is king, bro. Content is king. You got to record everything. You never know what's gonna hit it.
Exactly. All right. Well, that is our general overview of Popcorn Pillow Talk. So before we head out, just a plug on the back end. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like the video, comment on the video. If you want to see if you have some ideas for stuff that you want us to do moving forward, be sure to leave a comment down there. Hit the like button as well. And also, if you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we post new shit. And then if you're listening on any fine audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whenever we get that up, may just leave us a 5-star review. Let the algorithms know that you like what we're doing, right? It'll only help us grow moving forward. So leave a 5-star review. Again, any content ideas that you have, leave them there as well. And then also follow us on socials at Popcorn PT Pod for the time being. Hopefully we can get that handle back, but who knows? For these guys, I'm Zach. This is Popcorn Pillow Talk. Thank you for watching episode 1, and we will see you next time.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby.